Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Um, I'm back again. Thank you so much to everyone who left me lovely comments on my last video, on my I'm back video. Yeah, thank you. It was really lovely to see those, and I'm excited to be back. And it's good to see my regulars commenting in there. So hello. Um, Today's reading, I am going to do a little bit of a more specific message, can't say that word. I literally about 10 minutes ago, maybe 15, I was driving home and I was driving down a hill and there was a bus that turned right. So I was driving this way and the bus was coming this way and then it turned right. God, it's not reflecting on the camera. Anyway, it turned right in front of me. And as the end of the bus was moving into the new road, I continued to drive on. So I'd slowed down to let the bus go and then I continued to drive on. But there was enough room for me to get through, but there was a kid on his bike on the waiting to cross the road and he couldn't see my car because the bus was obstructing his view. And so he crossed the road or attempted to, and I had to slam on my brakes so hard. And I didn't hit him. Should probably make that clear. I didn't hit him. And literally all traffic just stopped in that section because we're all just like in shock about what happened. And I just sat there in my car waiting for him to roll his bike back off the road, get back on the footpath before I drove off. And I'm still just processing it. It was really like full on. It doesn't sound as full on when I'm describing it, but it's just like I nearly just hit a child. Like, anyway, so I thought I'm going to try and make light of this as much as I can because nothing bad actually happened. I'm just stressing because it was quite intense. But I thought I'd make the topic of this video of what do you need to press the brakes on? What do you need to kind of really come to a halt on before you move forward? Because in life we kind of get stuck like in this perpetual movement and we don't stop to kind of pause and think about where we're going. So I thought I'd make the topic of this reading about, you know, putting the brakes on, stopping, and where are you going to go once you actually take a moment to pause. So we're going to do that because we often have like thoughts buzzing around in our head that just keep us going and keep the wheel turning and making us feel like we're not doing enough, rather than just kind of floating in gratitude for what we have. So what do we need to put the brakes on, guys? So we're going to do 3 groups today. Group number 1, 2, and 3. If you want visuals, kind of like mental visuals, let's do fruits. So watermelon for group number 1, orange for group number 2, and nectarines for group number 3. Okay, so for group number 1 that chose the watermelon, we're going to start with, I'm going to start with the Angel Oracle deck, actually, for group number 1. I was going to start with the Sentinel Tarot, but as I was opening that, I was like, no, I'm going to do something else. This is the problem about me doing the readings this way. It's like you guys can see exactly how weird I am. But, you know, get to know me a bit more. It's okay. So, Angel Oracle deck. It's extremely hot here today in Melbourne. Truth and integrity is the basis of this reading. Truth and integrity. Okay. Do we want one more from that? Yeah, it's like 32 degrees here. I don't have any air conditioning in my house except for in the living room, but I don't have any like central air conditioning. and the one in the living room doesn't work because my house is very old. So whilst it turns on, it doesn't actually cool the room. And then we have miracles. So I went to my parents' house because they have proper air conditioning for a bit. And that's where I was driving home from when I nearly hit that kid. So truth and integrity and miracles. It's an interesting combination for sure. Like before we even start with the tarot, like I'm actually going to move into a spiral oracle next and then go into the tarot. Because it's like what miracles can happen when you stand to yourself from a place of integrity, when you speak your truth, when you come from a place of moral certitude. What miracles can happen? What miracles can happen when you surround yourself with people who center themselves from truth, who have the integrity to be honest with you, and who have the same moral certitude as what you do. So we have everything is connected. Okay, no, I just chose that one because I was drawn to it. So let's see what pops out for you. Yeah, because everything is connected, you know, like if you surround yourself with people who aren't willing to be honest with you, who speak their truth, it develops in your life. It's like a virus in your life, you know. Embrace knowledge. Okay, so let's see what it says in the books. So I might start with embrace knowledge for some reason. I feel like I want to start with embrace knowledge. So for embrace knowledge. Okay. This painting honours the very source of creation. It represents the ancient image of the Selknam culture. I apologise, I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Selknam culture people who were the spiritual guardians of the south of the world, Tierra del Fuego, Patagonia. Their origins can be traced back to about 9,000 years ago. 9,000 years of evolution and knowledge wiped out by colonization in only 20. Therefore, what are, for me, my roots? Have I forgotten where I come from? I then remember respect. I then remember that my parents and grandparents live in me and that we are made of stories. And the lesson is roots. I leave coldness behind. I leave coldness. I'm really hearing that as like I leave falseness and I leave lies and narcissistic surroundings. Like I just leave all of that, you know. I look at my ancestors focusing on their light and no more on their wounds or egos. I am now healing my roots. I acknowledge the sublime creation that I am, a chain of improbable prodigies, manifesting in each generation on and on. Here I forgive, I love, I acknowledge, thank, and there's a spider on my bed, there's a spider on my bed. Give me a second. Get off. Oh, Jesus. Ugh. Okay. Okay, sorry. Let's continue. It was like this big, but I do not like spiders. I could just like see it. Anyway, okay. So, spiders, creation. Okay, I'm going to take that as a sign. Spiders are creation. All right, creating your world, respecting the process of creation. Don't feel ashamed that you feel like things you need to weave a new web or create a new home. No, that is the process of creation. It is rectification. You know, sometimes you need to rub things out and redo them. Sometimes you want to add color to something. You know, that is what creation is. So don't feel ashamed of whatever it is you feel needs to change, okay? So I am now healing my roots. I acknowledge the sublime creation that I am, a chain. Oh gosh, oh my God. Sorry. I feel like there's spiders everywhere now and something tickled me. I acknowledge the sublime creation that I am, a chain of improbable prodigies, manifesting in each generation on and on. Here I forgive. I love, I acknowledge. Thank and honour where I come from. Grounding brings along prosperity. Okay, so I apologise that the weight of all of that was interrupted by spiders and my fear of them, but I think the message resonates. And then we have everything is connected, which is right next to embrace knowledge. Isn't that interesting? Because we have embrace knowledge first and then everything is connected. And I was like, I'm going to switch them around. All right, so I am every character of this image. I am the Trinity, human, spirit, and universal intelligence. I transform and transmute myself. I am the Salcman culture from Tierra del Fuego. I apologize for not pronouncing that correctly. I am my roots and the profundity of the culture that is present in my identity. I am unfathomable mysteries and stories. I am an unlimited being. There are infinite movements in the world. I observe them and I observe the connection among all things. I also observe that I am all things. Just as it feels in here is how it feels out there, because we are not living alone, and what happens to me is happening to the world. And the lesson is respect. I respect myself and therefore all of existence. Our planet and I are sensitive, and in both, even minimal action has repercussions. The fluttering of a butterfly's wings can have effects on the other side of the planet. Yeah, so definitely I think it's time to, like, maybe you think something as small as embracing truth and integrity in your life will not help to create miracles in your life, but even the smallest flutter of a butterfly's wings create amazing changes, okay? So I think that you should give it a shot. So I feel like some of you are a little bit nihilistic in the sense that, like, no, like, this is just how it is, like, there's no changing, and the universe is saying, no, you need to stop that attitude. You need to stop that attitude. Embrace the truth of who you are, because there's a lot of integrity to who you are in your truth, and watch the miracles form from there. Yeah? So I kind of don't even feel like I need a tarot, but we're going to do a little bit of tarot, see maybe if we could please have some, like, indications of, like, how you guys can achieve that. Here we go. So, all right. I think you guys, you need to figure out what it is that you want for your soul. Who is it that who are you on the inside, and what do you need to help manifest that in your reality? What do you need to be able to manifest who you are on the inside? Does that make sense? What tools do you need? Yeah. And then once you find those tools, ask for them, ask for help. And once you find them, follow that path with ferocity. Ferocity is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, don't give up. Don't give up, okay? All right, group number 1. Yeah, they're just saying, like, you really should need to figure out what it is that you want. Don't feel deceived in that. Like, I feel like some of you feel, like, guilty that you don't know what it is that you want, or, like, you don't know who you are exactly yet. You feel like life has deceived you because what you thought you wanted is not actually what you want. Don't feel deceived by that. As I said before, this is the process of creation, okay? This is how it goes. You have to know what it is you don't want in order to know what it is that you do want. So consider yourself even closer to your dream life now than you were yesterday. All right? Okay, group number 1, that's all I have for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Okay. Okay. Ooh. All right. Hello, group number 2. So let's get cracked into it. I'm just going to reposition, actually. Let's not go for my knee. Okay. Sorry about the camera shaking everywhere. So We are going to start with the Sentinel Tarot for group number 2, who chose the orange. And I feel like you guys are vibrant people just because you chose the orange. Like, It's actually funny. I'm remembering this thing that I've seen a few times about like this game show, and the host asked the question, "What is name an orange?" No, see, I can't even get it right. The host is like, "Name a yellow fruit," and because the competitor is under so much pressure, they go orange. So I feel like, whilst that's funny, I feel like you guys are under a lot of pressure right now. To a point that you're feeling confused, or like you can't speak correctly, or like you're just stumbling over your words a lot, and it's like you know in your head what's right, but you can't articulate it because you feel so overwhelmed. So there's something you need to put the brakes on so that you can relax and heal from that. So let's go from there. So okay, 7 of Pentacles. So, okay, immediately I'm seeing that you guys are very competitive and that you have a lot that you want to achieve, but you are driving, like you're running yourself into the ground basically because you're overworking. So the 7 of Pentacles is about taking a time to pause and to appreciate the hard work that you've put in and see what the next step might be. So this is basically what we call in Australia, we call it smoko. So basically you're having a big day at work, it's 32 degrees Celsius. For those of you who don't go by Celsius, it's very, very hot. I don't know what it translates into Fahrenheit. And we have what's called a smoko break. So basically you sit down, you know, in Australia, it's mainly for tradespeople. So like plumbers, builders, they will start work around 5:30 in the morning. So at 11 o'clock, they'll take a smoko break, which is having a cigarette, so a smoko, having a cigarette, having a drink, having a sandwich, you know. So I feel like you guys need to take a smoko, basically. That's a little bogan education for you from Australia. Yeah, I feel like you guys are extremely resourceful. Like this card is about being in a war, but this guy here is like, we may have won this battle, but the war is not over. And so he's collecting the swords from those who have lost and preparing for the next battle. And I feel like that's what you guys do all the time. Like you're just getting ready for the next thing. And you have just gotten to that point now where you are extraordinarily overwhelmed because you haven't taken a time to sit down or have a break. It's like you guys aren't even sleeping because I feel like a lot of you are trying to distract yourself from romantic struggles that you're going through right now as well. Because whatever is going on for a lot of you romantically is quite painful. But I think maybe it's not as painful as it seems to be, which is, I don't mean to sound condescending in that way. What I mean is, like, I feel like you feel very alone right now, but I think someone's going to pop out and help you, okay? I think there's going to be something or someone that comes your way to help you realize that this is not as bad as you think it has to be, because I feel like you're experiencing injustices right now. But I think, like, if you stop deceiving yourself, because I look, if I'm being harsh, I think some of you are getting into this mindset of not seeing anything positive. You're seeing everything in a negative light, which happens to all of us all the time. So no judgment there at all. But I think if you stop feeling like you've been deceived because it's sending you backwards, you might find that whilst things are not great, they're not as catastrophic as they seem to be. And because you're distracting yourself with all this work on this rabbit wheel, you're never going to find justice for yourself, because you won't actually allow yourself to think about anything on a deeper level because it's too painful. So you keep on doing things that distract you from having even the time, let alone the energy, to think about anything that deep. But if you continue down that road, you're not going to find justice for yourself. Okay, so you need to stop working so hard, basically. You need to stop. You need to sit down. You need to have the biggest cry of all time and think about what's been going on, okay? Because it's time to cleanse, it's time to purge, it's time to spill the wine, basically. If you need to get drunk to let out those emotions, by all means, I will not judge you for that. Now, let's see what the angel oracles have to say. I am not advocating for alcoholism, by the way. But sometimes releasing our inhibitions is very useful. Group number 2. There we go. Okay, so if you go back into nature, I think you'll find that very useful. Like, force yourself out of the house, force yourself out of the workplace, go on a hike. I think for a lot of you, going on not necessarily like a hill hike, but just going on like a very, very long bushwalk or nature walk that is like 10 kilometers long, takes you an hour to drive there. So there's no way that anyone can pull you back into your little foxhole of work, okay? You go on that walk, you turn your phone off, you don't turn it back on until you finish and complete that walk, okay? Because it's kind of like you're forcing yourself to do something still, but without the normal distractions that you would have. Yeah, and I think go with a friend. Go with a friend. Allow them to talk to you. Let them listen to you. Someone that you trust, okay? Take them with you. Take them with you on this walk, because I think they will help you open up, okay? And I think they will be that person that I was talking about earlier that will help you realize that things are not as catastrophic as they may seem, okay? I think I don't want to overwhelm you guys, so I'm not going to do a spiral oracle. I feel like a lot of you are like, you need to breathe that in for a bit. So I'm going to leave that at there. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next reading. Bye. Oh, I'm just going to quickly check my mobile for anyone that's still watching me in this intermittent time. Okay. So, group number 3. Let's do this. Oh, I'm excited for group number 3. Okay, all right. So, let's start with the universe has your back. Oh, ooh. So uncomfortable. I really struggle in hot weather. I love hot weather, but when I cannot, like when I don't have the provisions that make hot weather comfortable, like air conditioning, mainly just air conditioning, I really struggle. And I don't have a fan, and I cannot afford a fan, so I just have to sweat it out until it cools down. So let's start with the universe has your back oracle deck. I feel like for a lot of you, this is going to be work-related. Happiness is my birthright. Damn straight it is. Without question it is. Might. For those of you who still don't believe that, we are going to change that for you today. Yes, we are. There is no doubt that happiness is your birthright. I've actually come to that belief so much that I will not tolerate. I will actually sabotage anything that does not make me happy. I'm not joking. Which in a way is not the best, but in a way it's also the best. So, because I believe in reincarnation, I do. But just because I believe in life repeating doesn't mean I don't value this life to my maximum potential. And look, if we're going to get really deep and meaningful, I have fought extraordinarily hard to keep my life. And now that I feel secure in my life, I'm not going to compromise on the quality of it in the slightest. So I feel like that's the topic of this reading for group number 3. I feel like that's what you guys need to learn or need to have validated for you, because I feel like some of you are still in that phase of feeling guilty for not accepting like jobs or something that technically would be really good for you financially but are not good for you mentally. Yeah, some of you are not accepting new beginnings that logically make sense, but they're not right for you. They're not right for your heart. They're not right for your mental health. Yeah, okay? And you've made the right decision by choosing not to take that new beginning and instead take a different one. Oh, we got a lot here, okay. Because you're coming to a place of self-acceptance, of realizing what you deserve, of realizing what you need. And with divine timing, you will find you'll be able to shoot your arrow at the right opportunity and take that, with you, because your intention for yourself is to have a healing, positive, good life. But I think you're finding it difficult to forgive yourself for that, because there are people in your world whom you trust who come from a very logical place and don't agree with your sentiment necessarily. But you are getting signs, such as this reading, which are indicating that you have made the right decision. You deserve to be enchanted with life. Life should be enchanted with you, because life in itself is alive, hence the word life. So I think that, you have definitely made the right decision. 100%. And once you reconcile with that, you will find harmony. You will find things happening in your life that are serendipitous and that you will be able to celebrate. Boom, chakalaka. Love it. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Severus, Remus. My cats are in the dishes. Severus and Remus, come here now. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there are dishes smashing. Love that for me. So let's do the Sentinel Tarot. See what comes up for you. Give us some action plans, please. Maybe. That might work out well, hey? What do you guys need to put a stop on? What do you need to put the brakes on? I think you need to definitely put the brakes on your self-doubt, for starters. Tarots aren't being very forthcoming. Shall we do a spiral instead? Okay. Do that instead. Severus, Remus. Oh, good boy, Remus. Severus. Now I know it's you. Hi, Remus. Hi. Okay, spiral. Woo. Riverside. Do, 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 do. Okay. Remus, just come here. Ooh, Cosmic Dance. It's a beautiful card. Okay. 3? Okay, let's do 3. Remus. Oh my gosh, I'm getting sick and tired of saying your name all the time. Look what you made me do. You made me spill the cards. Bear with me, guys. 2 seconds. Okay. Oh. Goodness me. All right. Origins. Ooh, sacred sexuality. I love a bit of that. And unlimited opulence. Beautiful. So, let us start with the first card, Riverside. So, oh, this is a long one, so bear with me. Roots, and earth layers seem motionless to the naked eye. That is the only appearance that nature could have for that one who still doesn't stop to look. When I look at it, I see that every part of nature is true, simple, honest, perfect, and of an immeasurable beauty. Its movement is patient, second by second, and one of its greatest truths is that it is constantly changing. My foot is the same as nature, honest and perfect. My skin, with every beautiful pore, protecting the interior of the body, natural and throbbing of life. My bare feet rest on a smooth and bluish stone. Around it there is a sea of stones, pebbles, and rocks, each one of a different texture, shape, and energy. Each stone is unique in that multitude. However, all together they make up the unified surface I am stepping on. The ant carrying its load, walking alongside its peers, all connected through something invisible that makes them work together. They share a network that unites them in movement and in the purpose of life. We humans, just like rocks and ants, are individual and collective, and we also share invisible networks that unite us and move us in a certain or uncertain direction. However, we are often unaware of the force that moves us. I have observed that one of the greatest things that human beings share is the collective mind. A great mind that is fragmented, full of rubbish and superficiality, like ourselves. This is how we arrived here, with no awareness of how we move. If I am the same as nature, then the fundamental question is, what makes me feel apart from her? Mental chatter. If the planet is our house, then why are we destroying our home? Mental chatter. And the lesson is to prioritize. I watch my mind and the noise that inhabits it. I release and prioritize the collective, the earth, and humanity. The great earthly challenge is to make conscious the noise of the mind, so that we can open those inner prisons and, in freedom, move together in a new direction. Beautiful. What stood out to me here? It was fragmentation and superficiality. So I think because your desires are somewhat fragmented by superficiality, by logic, you cannot reconcile with your desires. So you need to become whole. You need to recognize yourself as a whole. And I think let go of that superficial line of thinking that you are employing as of now, and try to connect a little bit more with a line of thinking that originates from the heart. And I think you will find, whilst your fragmentations do not completely heal, because we are all extraordinarily fragmented, you will be able to put a few pieces back together. All right, so that was Riverside. Now, what was next? It was Cosmic Dance. Okay. When I approach the world and the world is devastating, I feel devastated. When I see you with that obscure, empty look and you're not inside, my colours darken. When I offer you my living being, fresh, pulsing, and you ask me for a paper to confirm it, I lose my sense. I understand the meaning of hopeless. When you define our borders out loud or just with a look, I get fragmented. All this happens because you are alive in me and I am alive in you. Everything is alive in me. You and I are the world, the cosmos, the infinite itself. I come to share my life, my dream, my journey with you because everything belongs to everyone and we are all responsible for collectively building ourselves. I don't blame it on your wide open blind eyes. It is just that I wish to embrace you as equals, as the wild and precious creation that you are, dancing in unison with life. I love you eternally. I see myself as everything. I love myself as everyone. And the lesson is empathy. I empathize with your pain and your walls. With love, compassion, and patience, I empathize with your joy, and together we create the flame that lights up all the hearts of the world. I like that. I think that's pretty self explanatory and has different meanings for everyone, so I'm going to leave that as it has been self explained. I think the next one was origins. Or it might have been sacred sexuality. We're going to go with origins. Hi, Ram. Hello. Do you want to say hi to everyone? Guys, this is Remus. Say hello. Okay. I observe a family unconscious, filled with unresolved issues. These outstanding matters of my ancestors recreate repetitive situations for me and my current family tree. Repeating past events is an unconscious manner of honour and loyalty to my ancestors, an unintended way of telling them that we are all a part of the same team. In order to move forward and respect my own path, I become aware of my tree, acknowledging the pain of my ancestors. If needed, I lament their sorrow and I liberate that family loyalty. The more I become aware of my history, the more light I shed on each relative, ancestor, descendant, and myself. I understand that I am my tree and that if I wanted to break free from burdens and know myself better, I can always recover valuable information from my genealogy. It could be a pending investigation, a secret that resists to come to light, the origin of my name, assumed responsibilities, unconscious burdens, or complete oblivion. There is not a bigger relief than starting to be what one is. Since our infancy, they have foisted on us foreign destinies. We are not in the world to fulfill our parents' dreams, but ours. You guys know. You just know. Cut bonds is the lesson. The key to healing requires me to look beyond what my ancestors offered me as a life experience, positive or negative. I accept that from a higher perspective, any experience is love. I exist. Thank you, ancestors. The best way of cutting bonds and honouring my family and ancestors at the same time is to do what I deserve. My needs are valid. I deserve to live in peace and harmony, as the angel cards said. Okay, sorry I keep making mistakes. I'm trying to speak more articulately because I do have quite a bogan Australian accent. And I don't want you not to be able to understand me. Okay, sacred sexuality. I'm just going to have a drink because I am sweating. It is unbelievably hot. Ugh. I'm actually going to be moving to Queensland, which is going to be even hotter, but then at least I can pick a house that has air conditioning in it. Stupid me wasn't looking, when I was picking this house, I was just thinking about the budget, not about the comfortability. Okie dokie, sacred sexuality. I connect with the constant beat of life that inhabits me. I tune in with the sacred drive, my sexuality. My sexuality is life and is nature. Therefore, I open up the doors to my creativity and I open myself to that energy flow. I know myself. I esteem myself. I take care of me. I trust and I learn from loving myself. I observe the movement of the sacred and the profane. I transform the subtle energies that have been breached and I elevate my sexual motor as a large forest filled with mysteries. Like a dance of energies, a point of contact that contains the life force of creation. I integrate my invigorated, self-stimulating mind, body, and emotions. Thus, I unclog blockages and I connect with the cosmic mind. Now, I glimpse the mysteries of the universe. And the lesson is sexual centers. I connect with my sexual energetic centers. I focus my attention in my lower centers while I gently breathe, thanking the movement of life that resides within. Authentic and pure sexual expression embraces a radiant health. So I think a lot of you might be wondering how this plays in. Sexual desire is raw and innate. It is insatiable often, and for many, not for all, very hard to subdue. And I think that for those of you who are trying to connect with what you desire from life and to reconcile with it and not feel guilty about it, it would be a good exercise for you, a useful exercise for your soul, your spirit, your emotions, your heart center, and your brain, your logical brain, to connect with yourself sexually and know that there is no shame in that desire. And to accept that desire and stimulate it. And if you can do that for your body, you should certainly be able to do that for your soul. They are equally important. So I think it's kind of like a way of meditating for you. I also think that sexual release is fantastic for releasing indigestion in the soul, for releasing frustration, for winding down, basically. Just a really good way to wind down. So do that. And then we have unlimited opulence. And if you feel shame about or surrounding sex, I think the more and more you practice it and reconcile with its natural form, you'll find that that shame goes away. And I can speak from experience because I have childhood traumas that made sexual activity very much very disgusting to me, and made me feel very, very, very bad as a person. And if I can reconcile with it, bloody hell, so can you. So, unlimited opulence. I am the unlimited source of energy that lives within me. I am the unlimited opulence of the forces of the universe. I open up and allow myself to receive what I am, because I will live with myself forever. I live my life, and when I live it, wealth and abundance thrive for and within me. I am a diamond. I feel my naked heart beating and sensitive to life. Pardon me, and the lesson is love. I give myself permission to receive what I deserve. Oh my God, this could not tie in any better. I place my palms together. I thank and I unfold all the generosity towards my own being. Okay, group number 3, we're going to end that there. I think that was the perfect ending. Unlimited opulence is basically the true acceptance of yourself, the reconciliation of your desires. And I love that the person on this card is naked. It's a very phallic card. Okay, much love to you all. Thank you so much for watching. And sending you all much strength and love that you require in this time. And I will see you in the next reading. Ciao.